Welcome to the Farming Without the Bank podcast, the show with a no BS approach to money, hosted by a farm strategy expert and authorized IBC practitioner. Join us as we get real and expose the flaws of traditional financial institutions in order to help farmers take control of their finances, create peace of mind, grow their wealth, and leave a legacy. Now, here's your host, Mary Jo Ehrman.
Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. All right, I'm going to do another 2-for-1 because it's going to apply to both. Again, I know you guys, I do this a lot, but everything that I say typically applies. So today we are going to talk about the 3 things that I am not drinking the Kool-Aid on. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't drink the Kool-Aid on, and I question a lot of stuff, as you should be as well. So with that being said, people will come to me, and some people will have done a lot of research and have a lot of questions, and I actually appreciate that. I know not everybody does, and some people feel like they're being questioned as an authority. But if you've done the research, and I have done my research and I have my 2 cents to share on it, then I don't feel like you're questioning authority. I feel like you have done your homework, and I would rather have an informed client than a client that is just going to trust me 100%. There are clients, they're like, oh, Mary Jo, I just trust you, which good, because I am trustworthy. However, I would not want anybody to just blindly be putting money into something and not have done a little bit of research in the forefront, because guess what? If something doesn't happen at the other side of that and something goes wrong, it is hard for you to sit back and blame somebody else for something you've done. So I tend to do a lot of research on things or think about things a little bit longer, because I have had some bad experiences in the past where I've not done my research, and guess what? I got caught, and it was completely my fault because I just trusted somebody. So I want to go over 3 things kind of that I've been hearing a lot about lately. And let's just start with the easy one, which is gold and silver. I understand the value of gold and silver. I understand why gold and silver is important. But I have done some talking to people, and it kind of makes you think a little bit about the whole push for gold and silver. So number 1, I have a client, some friends that are preppers. They will tell you in the order of what you need, it's going to be water, food, guns, ammo, gold, silver, right? Because you will be able to barter with things that you already have. Gold and silver are not an easy means of exchange. And so as we would like to have those, it's just not that easy. It's more of having it as an investment should something happen. However, again, Nelson always used to say, if your gold and silver is so awesome, why are you taking my worthless dollar in exchange for your valuable asset? And when he said that to me, I thought, you know what? That's exactly right. Like, then you have to think about, are we pushing a narrative? Are we listening to all of this stuff and they're propping up gold and silver so we can sell more gold and silver? Do I believe our dollar is in trouble? Yes, 100%. I'm not ignorant, people. I believe we're going to have a financial something going on, right? There's going to be some sort of a crisis. Is it going to be in my lifetime? I don't know. The gold standard was taken off decades ago. We have been talking about it since the gold standard was removed, that we're going to fall apart. We're going to be like Russia. And yet here we are. And I just heard something the other day that said that we still are the strongest economy in the world. And so China is really having a hard time. So if we are the strongest economy in the world, how long is it actually going to take for these idiots to blow our country to pieces? Right. And so when I say idiots, I'm not necessarily talking about one side of the aisle or the other, because I'm at the point, to get a little political here, I'm at the point that they all don't know what they're doing. One isn't better than the other. They're just pretending to have differences. They all have the same agenda. So with gold, do I value it? Yes. Do I have some? 100%. Am I going to say that is the only place we should be putting money, and that's what's going to happen to our country is we need to start using gold and silver? No, I'm not I'm not drinking that 100% of that Kool-Aid. Because if we look at history, people were melting down gold and silver to make more gold and silver. They were shaving coins. So is that perfect? No. That then leads to crypto. Again, like gold and silver, I understand crypto. I know why it's there. Is it going to be a legal tender that will take over our US dollar? No, I don't believe so. I believe it's just going to be another tender. Just like gold and silver. You can go buy stuff with gold and silver if other people have gold and silver. And so I believe it's just going to be the same thing. It's going to be another option. I don't foresee it taking over. I mean, a lot of people wanted crypto because it wasn't going to be tracked, and now it's tracked. And I get that there's a limit on it, but here's what I cannot get past is the fact that it fluctuates like the stock market. So why would I put money that I know I'm going to need into crypto, and then I don't know what the value of that is going to be at the time I need it? So let's say that I'm saving up for a house and I'm going to put it into crypto, but then crypto tanks right when I need my house, or right when the housing economy is going to go down or is down, and so is crypto. Like, are there odds of that? And I have talked to a lot of people, and I have asked this very question, and nobody can truly answer why I would exchange all of my US dollars for crypto. And they say, well, the government's going to go digital currency anyway. The government is already digital currency. Our US dollar is already digital. It's been digital forever. Chase is shutting bank accounts. They're freezing them or shutting the accounts. I have personal friends that have had their bank account frozen. No apparent reason. Good people not doing anything illegal, and their bank accounts are froze. No explanation as of to why. It is absolutely crazy. If you think this digital stuff is new, our currency is nothing more than numbers on a ledger. If you go to the bank, you can't even get cash, for heaven's sakes. So there are some people that aren't taking cash as a means of exchange anymore because they want everything done with a credit card or Venmo or whatever is easiest. That is all digital. So why is crypto so special? I get that it's a limited amount, that we can print more dollars, but the person that created crypto, how do we know that they won't change the rules as the rules are played out? That's what they say now. Why would I trust somebody that created a digital currency that I do not know any more than I would trust the Federal Reserve, who I know? Right? We know who's at least running the Federal Reserve. We know it's the Rockefellers. We know it's the government. So I don't trust either one of them. I don't even know the guy that's running crypto. I'm just buying into this thought process. I say it was really good marketing. I don't own any crypto because I've yet to see why I should do that and buy into that. And I think the government's just going to get their fingers in there like they do with everything else anyway. So there's my sense on crypto. And then there's another thing that I've been hearing about a lot lately, and it is velocity banking. And so I finally did my research on velocity banking. I knew a little bit of what it was, but I really wanted to understand it. And maybe I don't 100% totally understand it, but I looked at it and why? Like, if we're doing infinite banking and we understand what Nelson is trying to teach us, we wouldn't be doing velocity banking. And so velocity banking corresponds with IBC in the aspect that you're going to get rid of your mortgage, your amortized 30-year mortgage. We're going to pay that down sooner. But here's what I don't understand. So for those of you listening that have never heard about it, in my opinion, you can skip it. You don't even have to go research it. However, do your own research. You want to trust me? Trust me. So to make it simple, Mary Jo language, velocity banking is I have a mortgage, and let's say that mortgage is $100,000. And let's say my house is worth $150,000. So I have $25,000 of equity in my home that I could borrow against on a HELOC, home equity line of credit. So I have a 30-year, $100,000 traditional mortgage, fixed interest rate. Then I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to get a HELOC. And what they do is they take the money from the HELOC because the bank writes you a check for $25,000 a year. Let's say we're going to do a $25,000 HELOC. They'll write you a check for $25,000. Now, what are you going to do with that check? Velocity banking says you're going to take that $25,000 and you're going to apply it to your 30-year fixed mortgage. So now you owe $75,000 on your house instead of $100,000, but you owe $25,000 on the HELOC. So we still owe $100,000. But what we do is all of our paychecks get applied to the HELOC because a HELOC is daily interest. So we're applying that to the HELOC and we're going to pay our HELOC down sooner. And so as soon as let's say we get $20,000 paid off of our HELOC, then we borrow that $20,000 and we apply it back to the mortgage. So some things I did not see about this is you have to make sure that your mortgage can accept big payments, right? Most of them should, but you got to make sure that you don't have some kind of special mortgage that doesn't accept that. Interest rates matter. And so if your HELOC is going to be higher than your fixed mortgage, I don't understand why you would do that. I don't understand in a world where we had 2.5% mortgages, why we are doing a HELOC to get that paid off faster and why we're making it so hard. So the video that I saw on it, and I did not run the numbers, shame on me, but I did not run the numbers because I watched a video done by a colleague of mine that I trust wholeheartedly. And in their video, they said, if you do a HELOC, you would have the house paid off 6 years and 5 months sooner. If you did velocity banking, sorry. If you don't do velocity banking and you would just apply $1,000 a month more to your mortgage, it would be 6 years and 6 months. So it would have cost you a month and like $1,300 or something like that. Is the $1,300 in 1 month worth the headache of having a HELOC? And what happens if that note is called? Because it's a HELOC. In 2008 and 2009, we experienced that banks were closing HELOCs because they didn't want the risk. The housing market was crashing. And Nelson says, you want to control the banking function of your life. And are we actually controlling the banking function with velocity banking? What we're doing is we're giving cash flow to the bank every single month, and they are loving it because they can go turn that money 10 times. Really? That's what we want to do? I just am not seeing why this would be amazing. If you're going to do velocity banking, why not just do it in a life insurance policy? Essentially, we can put all this money into the policy, borrow against the policy, and pay off your mortgage. And now you control the banking function because it's against your policy, not the bank controlling the banking function. And what happens when the bank makes money off of your mortgage? They get the dividend, right? They're taking the profit, not you. And so the whole point of infinite banking is to make sure that you have the profit. Some people are talking about combining the two, which would be, hey, you go get a HELOC, go borrow against your house, and then use that money to start a premium. Hell no, I'm not going to allow you to do it. You could go do it and not tell me, and that's fine. But if you tell me that's what you're going to do to pay premium, there's no way you're doing business with me. I 100% do not believe that that is a good idea. And there are agents out there doing it, and I believe they do it so that they can make commission. Because we should be using profit to start a policy, not borrow money and go into business with the bank even further. The point is to get away from the banks. Now, yes, sometimes I tell you guys to go to the bank, but that's so we can use money to create cash flow that then we can get rid of the banks is the big scheme of things, not go to the bank and add to debt just to create a policy. The other thing that nobody talks about in anything I read about velocity banking is that when you get a HELOC, you may have to have your house appraised. You're going to have closing costs because it is a second mortgage. And you get to report that to your insurance company. So if we're going to create a second mortgage, there are fees associated with that. I yet to see anybody talk about these fees and if this is even worth it. So by the time we're done, did we pay more than $1,300 in fees, which is apparently what we saved in the scenario that my colleague did? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. For $1,300 over 6 years, I'll just keep the one mortgage. Make sure that I don't have extra loans with the bank, not create a harder system for me to use with my money. This velocity banking, I'm not going to say it doesn't work. I am certain it works, but you better be diligent about everything that you do. And if you are somebody that's going to be that diligent about your money, by God, start an infinite banking policy. And you're going to have the compounding in the policy, not just pay something off. Because as I always say, the bum on the street is debt-free, but he's begging for cash flow. The end of the day, you can be debt-free. You can have done velocity banking. You could have put all your time and energy into getting to the point where you have no loans, but then you don't have cash flow. Why not take that time and energy and put it into something where that money, instead of it going back to pay off your mortgage so quickly, it goes into something that creates cash flow that will help pay for your mortgage. And then when your mortgage is paid for, you continue to have the cash flow, not just be debt-free and thinking, well, now where do I go from here? Now I better build up my savings. So I'm not buying into any of those three. I can see the benefits, like I've taken a sip of the Kool-Aid, but it's not good enough to drink the whole glass. I'm not really a Kool-Aid fan anyway, but here nor there. Think about stuff when people say stuff, think about and rationalize it. Is there a way to do the same thing but better? Is digital currency going to destroy the world? It's already digital. They already have control. What is going to change? I'm saying we probably won't even notice anything except that they want to take our cash away and confiscate it. Is that bad? Yes. 100% that's bad. They just want to be able to control every dollar that goes through our account. So yes, 100% it's bad, but we already have digital currency. They already have the insights they need into our life. And if you think they don't, you are sadly mistaken. People are like, Mary Jo, I don't know why you use TikTok. There's no way I would give my information to China. Guess what, my friends? China has it. The government has everything that they need. From the day we are born, they have everything. There is no hiding. I mean, once in a while, somebody will hide good enough that you can't Google them and you can't find them. But guess who can find them? The IRS, the feds, they'll find them. Like, we cannot hide. And so, am I going to go do my stuff? Yes. Am I going to keep my head in the sand? No. But I'm going to think about those things and really think, gosh, does that make sense? All right, guys. I am sure you have plenty of thoughts on all three of these to convince me otherwise. And I welcome you to email me those thoughts. I have people that email and say, Mary Jo, I don't agree. I liked you until, that's okay. That is 100% okay. I'm not going to get my feelers hurt about it. And if you're lucky enough, I may actually email you back. Sometimes I don't email those people back because it's just a comment. There's nothing to say, all that good stuff. But if you have a comment, a question, concern, let me know. MaryJo@withoutthebank.com. If you've not gotten your book, go to Farming Without the Bank or withoutthebank.com. Grab your book, get the bundle, my book and Nelson's book. You can do both of mine and Nelson's, whatever. Add Nelson's book to that. Get the bundle, schedule your appointment, and we'll go from there. Talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for listening to the Farming Without the Bank podcast. We hope today's episode has inspired you to take control of your finances in new ways. Don't forget to check out our website, farmingwithoutthebank.com, and engage with us on our Facebook page, Farming Without the Bank. Join us next week as we smash more financial myths and empower you to accomplish your financial goals.